Welcome to Classic Car Cave. So just a quick update on the sandblasting of this 1935, whatever, 35, 36, 37, I'm not sure exactly. I still have to try and get some paperwork or some documents from Citroen to see exactly what age it is. And I can do that from the body number and from the chassis number, but it's something I need to look into. Anyway, 1930s. So obviously the chassis needs a complete sandblast. So what I've got to do is I was going to organise a big industrial compressor, because obviously I need a massive amount of cubic feet per minute, and also an industrial size sandblaster machine with the gun, the hood, the whole 9 yards, plus obviously the media. Now after checking on some of the prices, actually hiring the sandblasting gear isn't too bad. The media is very expensive, and it's not because I have to use it quickly. I don't have the time to keep sifting it and reusing it again. I can reuse it at a later date, but not when I'm hiring, because I need to get it all done in quickly. Anyway, the bottom line is, after doing all this and checking on what the compressor would cost per day, it's really ends up quite expensive. The compressor alone is $350 a day. I have to take it from Graz, which is 100 k's there and back, plus the diesel to run it, so on and so forth, and with the media and everything else, plus the mess, plus the hours that Amir and I have to put into it, you know, it's getting up around the 2,800 euros for 4 days hire. So luckily I found a company that I used 10 years ago who sandblasted my E-Type. Now the guy is not around anymore. He sold the business to a family, and the very strange thing is they're actually from Bosnia, the same as Amir, but more strangely they're actually from Tuzla, where Amir's from. So it sounds like he might know the family. That all being good. So I went to their workshop. They've got a workshop area where they can do it. We looked at it. They came and had a look on Friday. They came very early in the morning. Too early for me because I'm a night owl. They came about 7 o'clock, or they called me at 7. We're outside your house. So we came down and had a look. We had a look at the chassis, we had a look at the body, the mini body or the mini shell, and all the other bits and pieces that go with this Citroen, like these front wings, the rear wings, as I said, the body part of it, the running boards, the whole 9 yards. Anyway, eventually we came up with a deal, and the good thing about this deal is not only is it about half the price it would cost, plus we're leaving the mess in their workshop, not ours, so that will leave this shop here clean for, as I bring stuff backwards and forwards, Amir can paint it when I bring it back. So I'm hopefully during the day, this is my book, Stella, hopefully during the day I'll be able to bring things back already clean, and he can paint them straight away in a quite a clean environment. So it works out that I can actually do the whole thing I wanted to do for 1,200 euros. And the good part about this is I get rid of this, which is this Trabant that I picked up in Hungary, which I've been trying to move on for somebody. We have it running. It was like a little project to see if we could get it running. We did it, and that's going to be part of the deal. So that means that's out of the way, and we don't have to keep looking at it. So that's the situation. So I've still got a few bits and pieces to take off this. What I do need to do is jack it all up, take the wheels off and take all the linings out, the brake liners, because there is no hydraulics in this 1930 chassis. It's all cable brakes, but I obviously want to get all the cables out and anything that could be damaged. So basically he's got a machine which will lift this on its side, and then he can sandblast it underneath. So I'm hoping that he'll be able to sandblast this in the morning. We bring it back and then start taking the other stuff up there, and over a period of a day and a half or 2 days, well, it won't be 2 full days, but over a period of a day and a half or 2 days we can get everything done, and we can have it primed up and done. So that's where we're going with it now. Now this won't happen until Amir gets back, which is on the night of the 6th of September, which is I believe a Tuesday night, and we're going to start blasting on the Thursday. So that's where we're going with it. Like I said, I've got a few things I need to strip off this. I've definitely got to get these cable brakes out. I'll take these engine mountings off, which is something strange. I've never ever seen this before, where an engine mount is not actually attached, physically attached to the engine mount itself, and all they are is pads. So they're rubber under there. There's a metal top and it's a rubber elastic in there, and it actually sits on there, and it's got threaded bolts which you can go up and down with, but it's not physically attached to it. I've never seen anything like that before. So, excuse me, that's my phone. Yeah, so this cover I'm trying to get off. This seems to be badly corroded in place, or it's been tack welded, so that's got to come off. I did take a few other bits and pieces off. Yeah, and basically get these are these rear handbrake, sorry, the rear shoes that we made up that go onto the brakes, and this one, and there's other one for a handbrake mechanism. So they've got to come off, so I'll have to take the wheels and tyres off for that. Obviously we've taken out the tank, which is sat there. I don't know quite what to do with that, whether to get it sandblasted, and then I should imagine it's pretty bad inside, but I'll keep it anyway, and possibly use another smaller tank for this. So jobs I've got to do is I've got to get all this stuff out, get it ready, or maybe we can do it when Amir comes back. But I want to definitely take the gearbox off this engine, lift that up on the crane, take this gearbox off, and check how it is inside, and make a stand for this. So that's one of the projects I'm going to be doing for the next few days. So I've lifted the engine crane up. I've just put that piece of wood under it just now, and got it re-strapped away from the gearbox, because obviously I have to get the gearbox off. But this is very strange. These they're like squares here, these gearbox bell housing bolts, so they're going to take quite a bit to get off, so I'm going to let them soak, I think, for a few days before I attempt to take them out. But what is good is this frame originally is for an A-series mini engine, and this is obviously, it would have been sat transversely across here, and the radiator and everything sat on it, so you could, as long as you put fuel with it and hooked up a solenoid or a battery, you could run the engine on it. In fact, I made one for Paul as well, Paul Jeffries, and I've kept this one. So really, I was looking at it now, this frame actually across this way is 50 centimeters, and as luck would have it, the support arm across the front here is 53. So I really, what I need to do is just build something off these brackets, sort of inch and a centimetre and a half either side, and I can bolt them straight back down to here. That will bring the whole thing into the frame, and then I can attach the bell housing from the back end somehow, and that'll give us a chance to get it cleaned up right. But this gearbox definitely has to come off. It's just such a mess, and it needs sandblasting and everything, but we just have to be very careful about how we do that. Obviously I try and keep stuff away from where there's any holes. Obviously I think this must be the speedo drive. Yeah, we just have to be a bit careful about how we do it, but it needs to come off, because I need to see what the clutch and everything's like, because it is possible to get another clutch for these. This is a drip feed, so oil goes in there, it's like a plunger, and it drip feeds onto the release bearing. So there we are. So I'll start making that up, and yeah, see how we get on.